Hi, I'm Jen. I'm a 2023 destination wedding bride, and I created this video so that I could go through the whole wedding process from start to finish and kind of give you an idea of what it's like planning a destination wedding. I'm hoping that you get a couple tips from this video. I'm going to kind of tell you what we brought. I wrote down all of these notes, so I'm going to tell you the order of events that we did, what we brought, how long we stayed, and any kind of other tips that I can think of like along the way. So our wedding was at Dreams Playa Mujeres in Cancun, Mexico, and it was absolutely amazing. It was everything that I could have ever dreamed of and more. If you are thinking about doing a destination wedding, I 1000% recommend it because I really wish that I could do it over and over and over again. So we had 54 people in total travel with us from all over the United States to Cancun. We actually used Southwest to fly there. The reason we chose Southwest was actually, it was before that whole thing at Christmas. We chose Southwest because you get 2 free checked bags per person, plus you get a carry-on and a personal item. And knowing that we were probably going to be bringing some decor and we were staying for 12 days, I knew that we were probably going to have a good amount of bags. So we just felt that this was the easiest route to go. We were able to choose between 2 different airports, and BWI seemed to be cheaper than Philadelphia Airport. So the package that we chose was beyond memorable. We booked back in 2021. We actually wanted to get married in 2022, but because of the pandemic, everything was kind of pushed back. So we ended up with going with 2023 instead of 2022, which was totally fine because honestly it went really, really fast. So if you are thinking about booking out 2 years in advance, I do recommend it because the prices actually ended up going up for 2023, and we had locked in so early that we were able to keep the same prices as our contract. So that's kind of nice if you are thinking about doing it ahead of time, maybe just setting up the contract and then you're locking in those prices. I do recommend getting a travel agent. That is how we booked through the wedding department, was through our travel agent. I don't recommend my travel agent, but I do recommend getting someone that specializes in destination weddings. So like I said, we booked back in 2021 and we had our room block for, I would say, I want to say like a good bit of a year actually. So I sent out the save the dates quite early. I wanted to give my guests a good amount of time to prepare for a destination wedding. And my thought process was that it would give people more time to budget and then pay for the wedding because my travel agent did take payments. That did not happen and everyone waited to the last second. So just be prepared for that. When you are planning a destination wedding, everyone will probably wait to the last second to book, which is something that I had to learn. So we had a date for when the deposits were due, and then we had another date for when the full payment was due. And then my travel agent also had everyone put in their flight information by a certain date because they did pay for transportation to and from the resort in Cancun airport, which was really nice. And the travel was Lomas, who picked us up from the airport, dropped us off at the resort, and then picked us up from the resort and dropped us off at the airport. Our wedding coordinator was Marcella, and she was amazing. I'd been following Marcella for 2 years on Instagram. I highly, highly recommend her. Just keep in mind that they actually do not reach out to you until 3 months before your actual wedding date. So don't freak out. Honestly, like we talked probably 3 times in that like 3 months, and then we basically finalized everything like a week before the wedding. They know what they're doing, I promise. Like, do not stress about this. I know I like to be very hands-on. For some reason, I just was not hands-on with this. I think it's because I was in the Facebook groups. I fully trusted Marcella to make my vision come true, and they nailed it. They like completely knocked it out of the park. So please, please, please just make sure that you trust them, and I promise they will knock it out of the park for you as well. I've seen so many brides so happy with their wedding at Dreams. So we stayed 12 days. So we left on January 30th and we stayed until February 10th. So we got there on a Monday and our wedding was that Thursday. I do recommend getting there a couple days before. It was nice because that particular Monday, it was a long day of travel and it just gives you a little bit of a buffer. If it is in the budget to be able to get there before your guests. We did have a few guests come that Monday, but it was nice just the two of us to kind of explore the resort a little bit, get settled in before our guests started arriving the next day. So the room that we booked was the junior suite ocean view with the private pool, and I was very, very adamant about wanting the rooftop terrace for pictures for my wedding. When I spoke to Marcella, I would say about a week before the wedding, we had a phone conversation and we were going over finalizing details, and I did say to her that it was very important that I do want the rooftop terrace because I really wanted to take first look photos there and bridal party pictures there. She said she would look into it, and then we did get an email that they upgraded us to the master suite, which was the ocean view with the private pool with the rooftop terrace. If it's in your budget to book that room, it is absolutely insane. It's huge. It fit all of our bridal party. So we had 5 on each side, plus we had parents come, and we did first look up on the terrace. We had bridal party pictures, and everyone was able to hang out, have food, and it worked out perfectly. And it was right there on the beach in front of actually where we got married. So it was very convenient for us to have the first look, be all together, and then be able to just walk right out onto the beach for our ceremony. So highly recommend, if you can afford it, to book the master suite. At this point, if I went back, I don't know if I'd be able to go to a junior suite. I think I would just book the master suite again because it was awesome. It has a jacuzzi up on the top, on the rooftop terrace. You can see the ocean, you can see the dolphins, you can the sunset, the sunrise. It was absolutely amazing. So traveling with the dress was probably my most stressful part of traveling. So we did end up having 5 pieces of luggage. So two check bags each of us, and then I did have a third check bag, just because we ended up bringing welcome bag stuff and decor. But I was so stressed out about traveling with my wedding dress. So I ended up, I know Wally bag is the name brand, but I ended up finding a knockoff one on Amazon for a lot cheaper. I bought it on Amazon Prime, and I'll link it down below in the description, but it was able to fit my wedding dress, my welcome party dress, my rehearsal dinner dress, my husband's wedding attire, and his rehearsal dinner stuff, and my wedding shoes and his wedding shoes. So this, it fit a lot. And honestly, I probably could have gotten more in there, but I really needed, my dress was kind of big, so I needed it to fold down. So it is a tri-fold, and it folded right up. And then Southwest, I did not realize that you do not get to pick your seat. It's kind of you just get boarded by groups, and then you kind of just sit wherever. So they did not offer to put my dress into the captain's closet, which was fine. I ended up just putting it in the top compartment for the carry-ons, and it was fine. So as part of the Beyond Memorable package, the resort will take your wedding dress and the groom's attire, and they will steam it for you. And they also took my veil and steamed that as well, which is perfect. And they return it to you on the day of your wedding. So this way there's no chances of your husband seeing your dress or anything like that. And they delivered it bright and early on our wedding day, and it was great. It worked out perfectly. So I really like that feature of that package. So now I want to tell you about the order of events. So like I said, we got there on a Monday, and by the time we got to the resort through the airport security and everything else, it was around 2-3 o'clock. So we checked in, we got settled, we unpacked, and then we kind of went around the resort a little bit because we had never been there before. So we got to explore, and then we met up with some people, and we ended up going to the Mexican restaurant that night, and it was delicious. I definitely recommend going to that restaurant. And then we kind of went to bed early because we had been traveling all day long. So on Tuesday, we had more guests coming in. Actually, the majority of our guests came in on the 31st, and that night we actually had what we considered a welcome party. It was kind of like an unofficial welcome party, so we did have it at the lobby bar, and I just had everyone come, get a drink, say hi. And then that night actually ended up being the same night that the resort was having a huge barbecue with entertainment and shops and in the Central Garden. So it worked out perfectly because the lobby bar is actually right there. So they came and got a drink, got something to eat, everyone hung out, and then everyone kind of just went their separate ways, which was great. That is actually what we were looking for. We just wanted to kind of say hi, get together with everyone, but not to feel that they had to come and hang out with us. Because remember, they're also paying for a vacation as well. So on Wednesday, everyone just hung out at the pools or the beach. We had really great weather, and there was plenty of stuff to do. What I love about this resort is that they have lunch right by the infinity pool, and there's something different every day. So the tacos were like insanely great. Like they were so good. And they had barbecue one time, they had tacos, I think they had seafood another day, but they have it every day, and I think it's from like 12 to like 2 or something. But like that was awesome because you don't have to go to a restaurant. It's like right there, you just grab some food and you can still stay by the bar and the pool. So on Wednesday, we had our rehearsal start at 4:30. So the bridal party met, and then we had our rehearsal dinner right on the pool terrace. So a lot of times people don't want to do the pool terrace because they don't shut down the pools for when you have these events. But we never felt like anyone was either watching or like a part of the party. Like I know you're right against the pool, but like you don't even feel like there's anyone in there. It kind of just feels like a whole separate like private party. Marcella did ask me if I wanted to add fairy lights to the pool terrace. I did not feel that I needed any. I didn't really want to spend the money on the rehearsal dinner knowing that it was just 30 people because I wanted to plan something for all of my guests. So we did do the taco buffet, and we had 3 tables. It was perfect. It was a lot of food. It was actually way too much food for 30 people. And we had a private bar, and it was beautiful. Like they decorated the tables for us. It was great. And then it was a 2-hour private event. So that was from 5 to 7. So then at 7 o'clock, we decided we were going to add on a bonfire on the beach. And this part, like, I'm so glad that we decided to do this. So they actually set up the beach for us. They had mats down, they had fire, they had all these snacks, like for s'mores, people could eat dinner, kind of. They had like snacks. Then they had a private bar again for us. And then, so because I upgraded my package in my wedding package, which I will get to, the Beyond Memorable package comes with a sound system. So she said that I could use it for my rehearsal dinner, but I asked her if I could use it for the bonfire instead, just because it was going to be more people, and you get a microphone with it, and like I guess your own separate DJ. So I would bring like a Spotify playlist, and then you can play that, and everyone got to hang out. It was a great time. They had lights set up. That was for 2 hours. It was so much fun because we had more people coming in on Wednesday, so everyone got together, and I probably drank a little too much before the night before my wedding, so that just watch that. But yeah, I highly recommend that if you can do that and it's in your budget, to add on the bonfire on the beach. So then it's Thursday. So as part of your Beyond Memorable package, you also have the option of, if it is available, the night before, your significant other can get another room so that you're not sleeping in the same room the night before the wedding, or you can use that room as the day of. So we opted to use that room for the night before the wedding. So he stayed in another room, and I stayed in our room because that's where everyone was getting ready. So I did hire 2 outside vendors, one for hair and makeup and one for photography and videography. For hair and makeup, I hired Sarah Tamaros and her team, and they were great. I had been following them on Instagram for probably 2+ years, and I cannot say enough about my hair and makeup. It was they knocked it out of the park. Everyone loved their hair. Everyone loved their makeup. It stayed all night long because it's airbrush, and I felt so beautiful. So they came at 8:15, and they brought 4 people with them. So 2 for hair, 2 for makeup, and all of my bridesmaids and my mom and my mother-in-law were able to get their hair and makeup done. And then they were done by 12:45. So, and actually it was perfect. They were literally on time. Everything worked out. And so then I had photography come in and videography. So for photography, we used Anna Lozano Photography, and then she brought her team, which has another photographer and the videographer. So we opted to do the package of 8 hours to have 2 and 2, because I wanted there to be a photographer and a videographer with us getting ready, and a photographer and videographer with my husband getting ready. I like the behind the scenes stuff. So we did bridal party pictures of the girls getting ready first. At least that's for on my what I know in my room. And then when my husband got ready with his groomsmen, we also had pictures of them getting ready and video. And we did opt to do a first look, which I am so glad that we did this, because I felt like it just totally took the nerves off. We just wanted everyone to have fun, and the whole theme of the week was we just wanted everyone to think it was like a party. We wanted everyone to be laid back and enjoy their vacation, enjoy the time. I mean, nothing makes me feel so good. Everything made me feel so good that everyone loved the resort, because I did such an amount of research on trying to find a resort that I thought everyone would love. And what's great about Dreams is that it is family friendly. So some families ended up bringing their kids, which was great, and they had a really great time. So after the first look, we did family photos, and then our ceremony started at 4:30. So we opted to do the beach gazebo. Originally, we were supposed to get married down, I think it's called the Presidential Beach is what they call it. But after I saw the walk from the boardwalk to the aisle or the altar, I realized that my dad probably wasn't going to be able to do that walk. So we opted to do the other side where the beach gazebo is, and there's a boardwalk, and then there's 2 stairs, and it wasn't too far to the altar. What's great is that Marcella actually kind of made sure that no one came behind us in our photos or during our ceremony, which I didn't even know that. Actually, my sister ended up pointing that out. And you don't hear anyone else. That is the greatest part, is you don't hear anything. You literally you think that you're the only couple on the beach, which that part, I don't know how they do that, but it literally, it's great that they do that for you. So during the ceremony, instead of the sand ceremony, we opted to do a tequila ceremony. So we ended up purchasing a bottle of tequila, and they had it set up in this kind of like a wine can, I think it's called cantina. So we were able to, I had purchased shot glasses, and I will link everything down below in the description of everything that I purchased and bought, so you can kind of take a look. And so we did a tequila ceremony, which ended up once again just going with the party theme. And then after you are announced husband and wife, you walk down the aisle, and they had champagne for everyone to toast with. And then we were able to take a huge group photo on the beach and get photos with family. There was a tiki bar right there, so people could grab drinks. And then we did our cocktail hour and our reception at the Central Garden, because I absolutely, for 2 years, I fell in love with what the fairy lights look like, and I was this is exactly where I want to get married. So people were able to go to the cocktail hour while we were on the beach getting photos, just the 2 of us, and we were doing sunset photos. And Anna knocked it out of the park with the sunset photos. They look so, so good. I did get like a little small, well, I say small, but 146 pictures back for our sneak peek. So I haven't gotten everything back and I haven't gotten the video back, but like the sneak peeks, like they're amazing. Everyone keeps saying that they look like they're out of a magazine. So definitely talk to Anna if you are looking for a photographer for your wedding. So then we actually ended up doing the mariachi band during cocktail hour. I also had a margarita station. We had a signature drink station. And so what was great was that you could still see the reception area, but you only had access to like the cocktail tables, which was nice. And like everyone loved the mariachi band. So then that's an hour for cocktail hour. And then we did not do announcements. We just felt that everyone had been together basically the entire week, that everyone kind of knew each other. So we decided not to do announcements. So when I had this gorgeous flower arrangement on the corner of the beach gazebo, and I asked them to move that to the head table, which they did, and it came out amazing. And we brought, I brought the Mr. and Mrs. sign for the head table. I brought the table numbers for all the tables. We actually used an outside vendor, another outside vendor, which was her name, the company's name is Magic Love. And we bought maracas from them. We bought LED foam lights from them, and we rented the welcome sign for the ceremony and an easel. So, and she delivered it right to the resort. So that part, like that couldn't have worked out any more perfect. And everyone loved the maracas. They were beautiful. I definitely recommend, and I'll put her stuff down in the description so you can reach out to her. She was very, very easy to work with. She was very responsive to emails as well. And she even put a tag on all of the maracas that said "shake for a kiss" and then our date. And that was customizable. So she sent that to us and then I approved the proof. So some upgrades. I'm going to go over these upgrades. I have a lot. So, all right. Some upgrades. We did the light up dance floor, which ended up working out perfectly. And it was big enough for everyone, and it changed colors, and it just brought more to like the atmosphere of like having fun. We did the fairy tent lights. We did the cold fireworks during our first dance. So if there's anything I can recommend for the cold fireworks, maybe plan that out with your husband a little bit better than what I did. So I told him that the cold fireworks were going to go off. I did not realize that they are kind of attached to the dance floor, so they ended up scaring the shit out of him. So, and I actually have a photo, and I'll put it up. I actually have a photo, and my photographer also forgot until that exact moment, so it kind of scared her as well. And then apparently my guest thought that the dance floor was on fire. So I don't know if I'd do cold fireworks again in hindsight, but I thought that they looked really cool. I did add flowers to our cake because otherwise it's just like a plain white cake, and that's not my personality. I really like things to be kind of like over the top. So we did opt to add flowers to the cake, which was beautiful, like pink flowers, and it was simple but yet elegant, and I loved it. So we also added the J&M lights. So originally we were going to do the love lights, and then last second we decided to switch it to the J&M, and Marcella said that she would let us know if they were available. And so when we walked into the reception and we saw those, like that was actually a surprise to us because it ended up working out that they did actually have those lights available. And they looked great behind the head table, and it just brought something to the reception. So something else that I added was I did Monstera like leaves under all of the vases. So I used the bridal party's flowers and my flowers for centerpieces. I just felt like the resort itself was so beautiful that I didn't really want to go over the top with the decor. So I took everyone's, like the bridesmaids' bouquets. I rented vases from the resort, and then they put the Monstera leaves under the vase, and then we had gold glass like containers, and she nailed it. I told her what I was looking for and she knocked it out of the park. And then we had the maracas on the tables and, like I said, the table numbers. So very simple. I didn't upgrade anything else about the tables. I didn't upgrade the chairs or the linens or anything else like that, and I thought it like looked beautiful. I don't think you need to go over the top on that kind of stuff, because really people are going to remember everything about the night, not what your centerpieces look like. One other thing that I did was I did add the photo booth, and that worked out great. It was off to the side. People really, really enjoyed that. So you get a copy of for yourself, and then the guest gets a copy. So one thing that I did want to point out is that the copy that you get is actually a 4x6. It's not the strips, because I made the mistake in ordering a guest book for strips. And then I'm really glad that I asked Marcella before we left, and she said they were 4x6. So I ended up ordering another guest book, which I'll link down below. Just a simple guest book. And they actually ended up taking a picture of Mike and I, my husband, and putting it into the front, which was really nice of them. They put all of the photos in there for us. And then the guests got to sign, and they put everything together for us so that we had it. And they also send you a copy. It's a link of all of the photos that were taken so that you can download them for a future. And the link's only good for like 7 days. So make sure you keep an eye out on your email if you do get the photo booth. So like I said before, I did do this beautiful flower arrangement on the corner of the gazebo, which was then moved to the sweetheart table. So that was an upgrade. And basically what I did is I just showed Marcella a picture of what I was looking for. I'm not the type of person that it has to be exactly what the picture shows. It was just more of an idea, and she nailed it. Well, of course she did. And they moved it to the sweetheart table, which, like I said, ended up looking so, so pretty. And I'm really, really glad that I opted to do that. And once again, I didn't really want to go over the top for the ceremony either, being like over the top for the decor, knowing that it was only going to be a short ceremony. Another thing that we did add was the water drum show, and I'm so, so glad that we did this. So originally I was going to do fire dancers, but what I really liked about the water drum show is that it was interactive. So they came out, they played, I think for like 5 or 10 minutes, and then they come out and they get everyone else involved. You can get to bang on the drums. Everyone got great pictures and videos of it. Everyone came out of their seats, which then kind of got everyone up. And then right after that is when we opened up the dance floor. So it kind of just worked out perfectly. Everyone was already up, and then everyone could just go into the dance floor. The one thing I do recommend is that for the MC, the DJ, you have a Spotify playlist for him, because I kind of wish that we would have. We kind of went over music beforehand, and I don't know if I don't know if my message just didn't get really like across. I mean, he kept everyone on the dance floor. I just kind of wish that he would have played different songs than what he played, but he was taking requests, and so people were able to go up and request a song. But in hindsight, I kind of wish I would have made a Spotify playlist. And we did upgrade to the MC for the night, and that was great because he kept the party going, and he kind of, kept the flow of the party. So the last thing I have on my list for the upgrades is I did take a shot, find your seat. I thought that was so much fun. So I brought my own photo frames for my take a shot, find your seat. I had a frame for the photo booth sign and for the signature drink sign. So I will link them down below, and I will show you a template and who I got this signature drink from on Etsy. And so for the take your shot, find your seat, it does not come with place cards. So I bought paper from Walmart, and I'll link that down below. And then I ended up making them on my Cricut, which was just ended up working out. And I actually already had a shot glass, so I was able to test it out on there to make sure it would stay. And they came out beautifully, and I'll put a picture of those as well. Okay, so for the items brought, I am just going to kind of go down the list. We did do welcome bags for everyone. I ended up buying drawstring bags for everyone. We did not get anything printed on anything, just because we wanted people to be able to use it again. Because I know some people don't want to use things if they have a date on them or anything else like that. So we bought basic green drawstring bags, and I put in there some shout wipes, a stainless steel straw, because it is a strawless resort. So keep that in mind, that if you want a straw for anything, I would bring a couple extra stainless steel straws because I ended up losing one of mine, and I wish, you know, I would have just been paying attention. But guests absolutely love those. And I also put stainless steel cups, and I put everyone's name on them, and that was like something that I decided to do like last second, and I'm really glad I did because everyone loved their cups. The bartenders, if you go up to them, they'll fill your cup up, they'll actually wash it out for you. So it keeps your drink cold, and it ended up being great. And here's the thing, when you have a bunch of drinks together, you know, people ended up drinking out of everyone else's, so at least you had your name on it, and then you didn't have to ask like, whose drink is this? And it was just, you know, it was actually really nice. And I didn't even think of this before we went, but a lot of my guests said they saw the cups and knew that they were with our party. And the fact that they didn't have to ask their name because their name was already on the cup. So like, I didn't even think about those things, and I'm really, really glad that I decided to do that last second. I also put a couple mints in there, and I did these key card holders that said like you could put your money and your room key in it for like, so this way you weren't having to like travel with things throughout the resort, and it was just on your wrist. And people really love those, which I didn't know if they would be a big hit or not, but I saw a lot of our guests with them. I also put bug spray, like bug wipe, and no one had to use that. I'm just glad I put it in there just in case. And then I had sunscreen in there, and I think that was about it, but I'll link everything down below in the description. So we actually gave out our welcome bags to the guests that were local beforehand. Oh, I'm sorry. I had a welcome letter in there, and I'll put a template to what we put on the welcome letter as well. So like I said, we gave out the welcome bags to people that were local, and this was a huge help. Not only did it get people excited, and I got to see people like before we left, but it also like took a lot off of our luggage. So we ended up traveling with 12 different welcome bags, which was not that bad considering, you know, originally we had 54. And it was all able to fit on the one side of the suitcase. So that ended up working out perfectly. And I definitely recommend, if you can like fit it in your budget to do a welcome bag, everyone really, really, really loved that part. So some other items that we brought, like I said, I brought the photo booth sign, the guest book, the take a shot, find your seat, the signature drink sign. I bought these custom shot glasses from Etsy, which just had our names on them and etched with the date. And I really wanted something that didn't have vinyl. I wanted to be able to use it as a keepsake, so I made sure that they were etched instead of used like vinyl. I brought our accessories for the accessories photos for Anna. I had everything in a plastic bag, so I had our save the date, I had our invitation, I had my earrings, my necklace, my bouquet charm, our perfume and cologne, and then we did get passport covers that said Mr. and Mrs., so I added those, and then my shoes. So like I said, the night before the wedding, I made sure everything was in a bag for Anna so that when we were getting ready, she could use that to take pictures of the accessories, which ended up working out perfectly. All right, so some other things that I brought. I brought the table numbers. I brought the Mr. and Mrs. sign. I brought a Mrs. hanger for photos, and all of the girls had hangers as well. I brought a whole new wardrobe because we had never really gone on vacation, and I had lost a bunch of weight before our wedding, and nothing fit. So I went on Shein, and I bought a whole new wardrobe. I had a new dress for every night, and my husband also had new outfits too. So I'm gonna link down below everything that I brought, because I got so many compliments on all these dresses from Shein. So I definitely recommend. One was like a Mexican dress. It was beautiful, and I can't wait to wear it again, actually. I got this getting ready outfit, so I bought it off of Etsy. It was like a lace robe, and it came with a like a white slip. I am a curvier. Well, I'm a curvier girl, and so the slip, I did not like how tight it was, so I ended up buying another slip from Amazon, and it was great. Like, I didn't need to wear a bra. You couldn't really tell that I wasn't wearing a bra, and it wasn't too short or anything like that, so I'll also link that down below in the description too. And I had white slippers that I got from Shein, and I will put them too. They actually were super comfortable, and like my whole outfit, I just felt like it looked great. I also brought my own jewelry. I got it from Olive and Piper. I bought it on Black Friday sale, I think like 2 years ago. I've had it forever. And it was so pretty. And they're still on the website, so I'll put them down below in the description as well. And then last, I brought the bouquet charm, which I put our dog on there who had passed away, who was a huge part of our relationship. So I put him on there. So this way I got all of our animals involved, not only with the signature drink sign, but also my bouquet charm. And I also brought the passport covers, which I already said. So, yeah, I had a good amount of decor in my bags. And so for the airport, I will also put this down below in the description as well. We had a letter that was both in English and Spanish that basically said, here's where we're traveling to. This is when our wedding is. This is the resort. This is who our wedding coordinator is. And I'm really glad that I did that, because we did get stopped by customs, and they did go through all of our bags, and they questioned us on why we were bringing the cups and the decor. And with the letters, I was able to explain that we were getting married. So that ended up being perfect. And I'll put that in the description as well for that letter, because I really think that if you are traveling with a lot of bags, it doesn't hurt to just print out the letter and put it in your bag. So I know this has been a very, very long video, and I'm going to create more videos, like more individual stuff. Like I'm going to go over like the bridal party gifts. I'm going to go over more of like the wedding stuff and just any tips that I may have. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel. I really hope that this video helped you. I know that it's like really long-winded and I went through it kind of fast, but if you have any questions about a destination wedding at Dreams, I would be so happy to help you. Please just comment down below, or you can send me an email or anything like that. I would love, like I said, love to help. I love planning weddings. So, but yes, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you on my next one. Thanks.